This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
The Morning Drive on Double T 97.3. Sometimes you'll love it, and sometimes you'll question their sanity. It's randomly delicious.
I thought maybe we were going to hear sometimes it's randomly delicious. It's not always.
It's not always randomly delicious?
That means we have our moments.
Doesn't the definition of randomly means that it basically sometimes happens?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
that's where I would go with that.
But sometimes it's randomly delicious.
So sometimes it's sometimes delicious.
Yeah, right.
It does feel like you're saying NIT tournament.
It does feel like that, doesn't it? Yes. A double negative. Nathan Eovaldi with a good pitching.
No, a double tournament.
Nathan Eovaldi with a good pitching performance last night, Jamie, as he went 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. They were earned. He struck out 7. Did give up a home run. On my way home last night, I was listening to Eric Nadell's pregame on Double T 97.3, and he was pointing out Mr. Eovaldi and what the Ranger uniforms were like. And he said, Nathan is wearing his long sleeves tonight under his jersey, which apparently is common for him. He said in his last outing in Baltimore, he wore short sleeves. And Nadell said, and he just this is like off the top of his head knowledge. He goes, it was the first time since 2023 that Nathan Eovaldi wore short sleeves underneath his jersey. And he said, so I asked him, he said, why did you wear the short sleeves in Baltimore? And he said, well, it was humid and hot, and he goes, but I won't be doing that again, because he did not have a very good performance in Baltimore. Yeah. And so last night he has the good performance with the long sleeves. So we're going to see probably long sleeves for the rest of the year for Nathan Eovaldi, which is fine. I mean, you pitch like that, you do what you need to do. But another low-scoring affair for the Rangers last night as they win it 3-2.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
When you pitch like the Rangers can pitch, I would think that you're going to expect to win a lot of low-scoring games this year.
There is a little concern for Jacob deGrom. He was having his knee looked at, and they're waiting the results of his MRI. So he felt discomfort during his start on Monday. So that's not ideal, but hopefully it's just a little, I don't know. And now they've updated that story so to show that the MRI is now clean, showed no issues. Apparently everything checked out okay. Now they're calling it mild knee discomfort. Okay. I would imagine with the kind of stress you put on your knee as a pitcher that there's probably going to be some times where you have some discomfort.
Oh, no question.
You know,
I mean, heck, this average Joe is walking around the building, and you walking around your house, you have mild knee discomfort every once in a while.
Yeah, right.
And you're not competing at anything.
No. But and here he is. But he is 37 years old. So, and that was his 250th start the other night. So there you go. I did not catch this part of last night. Somebody says this off the Yates Flooring Center chat line. How about last night was Eric Nadell's anniversary for broadcasting Ranger games, 47 years.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
So
47.
Man, that's a long time.
That is crazy.
Think you'll do 47 with the Red Raiders?
I don't think the timeline will work.
You'd be like 80-something, right?
Let's see.
This is your 14?
So I would have 33 more years to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that would put me... I probably wouldn't be very good at 85, would be my guess.
Oh, you'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah.
You'd probably be pretty good. You think you could manage the stairs and all the stuff that...
They got an elevator over there.
Oh, okay. But I mean...
The long drives to Albuquerque would be rough.
Right. I would imagine so, right? That would be. But
At least
if you had
it's
a
in
driver,
a car now, and not a bus, so that's good.
yeah, you can have a driver take you.
And Hacks would have to, help me up the stairs and help me carry my, my cane and all that.
You'd
good
need
stuff,
a handler. You'd need somebody to kind of help you along. But I bet if you still had it, that'd be good. But that's a long time, 85.
Again, I don't think I'd be very good at that age, so I'm guessing I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to do it for as long as I'm good at it, but until they decide they don't want me anymore. But listen to me saying as long as I'm good at it, assuming that I'm good at it now. Listen to me, I'm really proud of myself.
No, I think you're great at it. I think you're a lot of fun to listen to.
They'll get tired of me sooner or later.
Well, we're all just penciled in. We'll have High School Fan Zone tonight after the Astros and the Rockies. Coaches from Lubbock High, Coronado, Friendship, and Lubbock Cooper all paying a visit. And then also tonight, we'll have Red Raider softball with Jerry Glasgow. That'll also be on 92.3 The Hub and here on Double T 97.3. As long as the Rangers and the Mariners don't go like 16 innings tonight. I should have asked Coach Glasgow yesterday, and maybe I'll do this in the future, although you have to be kind of judicious when you do this, because it came out yesterday that they're now the number 1 ranked team in college softball.
That's cool.
And I wonder if he knew that when he was on with us yesterday, and maybe because they hadn't released it yet. They released it yesterday morning, but and I probably should have said, "Hey, do you think you should be ranked number 1?" And he probably would say, "Yeah, I think we should be ranked number 1." It's interesting listening to him now, and this has been kind of his mantra, I think, all year long. But it's front and center. We are here to win a national championship this year. This team is built to win a national championship this year. It's not talking about conference or getting to the tournament or having it's getting to, Oklahoma City and winning the whole doggone thing.
Is there anybody that's, involved with, a fan of, just part of at all Texas Tech that doesn't feel the same exact way?
No, it's just interesting to hear it. It
is 100% win the national championship, or it's a disappointing season.
Yeah, that's
kind of where this is how good you've built this roster. That's kind of what you've brought to the table. Those are great expectations to have, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, when you've got Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Charles Barkley, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson all on the same team, you kind of expect to win the gold medal. And
then you've got Kobe sitting on the bench.
Not on that team.
But your point is valid. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just interesting for it to be just so front and center like that.
I like the fact that he's not running from it.
No, not at all.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
It's Wednesday, April the 8th, 2026. Here is Jeff McGuire.
1963. Detroit Tigers claim young pitcher Denny McLain off of waivers from the Chicago White Sox. He would go on to win a Cy Young Award in 1968 and 69 and the American League MVP in 68. So, good job, Chicago.
But man,
way to recognize talent.
That's a bad deal.
He was awesome. He was a 30-game winner, and then he was a troubled dude, just with gambling and problems, and it just think of Art Schleister, Ohio State, Denny McLain, Detroit Tigers. Off-field troubles.
1974, Hammer and Hank Aaron hits number 715. Breaking Babe Ruth's all-time career record for home runs.
It was really exciting. It was really, really exciting.
1991. Oakland A's Stadium becomes the first outdoor stadium in the U.S. to ban smoking.
Really? That seems odd.
It does.
For them.
Mm-hmm.
and for that part of the country.
Mm-hmm.
You mean California doing something?
Well,
banning something?
Yeah, something that would seem so strict for kind of a part of the world that doesn't seem to be very, strict.
2001.
Free love there. Stuff like that. Wacky tobacco.
Careful, Chuck.
I'm so debating just letting him go or continuing on at this point.
I would just continue on,
because if we
please.
let him go, it could be fun.
Yes, I would just let him go, please.
2011. John Neely rises to 8-0, and Kelby Tomlinson drives in the winning run in the 12th as Texas Tech upsets number 5 Texas A&M 4-3. And in 2014, the 33rd NCAA Women's Basketball Championship finished up. Connecticut beats Notre Dame 79-58. It's the second time the school has won both the men's and women's Division I national titles in the same year. It is National Empanada Day.
I'm just not a fan of the empanada unless there's cherry in there. But it's just, for the most part, it's kind of an orange kind of pumpkin kind of feel to it. I'm just not as there's other Mexican treats that I'm a bigger fan of than that. But the empanada is just to me.
Happy birthday to John Snyder, who is 66. CeeDee Lamb, 27. Dean Norris, 63. Malik Collins, 31. And Felix Hernandez is 40. And on this day in 1994, rock star Kurt Cobain is found dead at his home in Seattle, Washington, with fresh injection marks in both arms and a fatal wound to the head from a .28 shotgun found between his knees. Cobain's suicide note was found stabbed into a pile of potting soil with a ballpoint pen nearby his body in the greenhouse on his Lake Washington property. It was probably written on about April 5th of 1994, the estimated date for which he was actually shot. And that is this day in sports history.
Shot or shot himself?
Himself.
Do you buy into any of the conspiracy theories that he did not kill himself?
No.
Okay. All right. 6:49 this morning here.
That was a very troubled young man.
Yeah, on the morning drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that, of the mobile app. So not only tracking, I think right now you're on portal watch for the men, but also for the Texas Tech women. There is one Lady Raider in the portal, and I'm not surprised. Yuli Nikolna has put herself in the portal. My guess is that she would play at a little bit lower Division I, or maybe even lower than that, so that she could get some playing time. She was basically practice teammate. Didn't have any significant minutes this past year for Texas Tech. So that's really no surprise there. But man, you could make a pretty good team out of plucking from other Big 12 schools right now.
Sure.
That's good because you need to.
Yeah, I know. It just depends on what's the price tag, and who do you want, and who do you go after, and how does that mix in with what you have coming in? And because you only have one player returning that played significant minutes last year, and she was a starter for you, and that's Jalen Bristow. So it'll be interesting to see what that roster looks like, and goodness, the men's roster too. But given how quickly you can turn things around with adding the right players, and certainly what the men have done over the years, it gives you a lot of confidence that you can put together a really, really good basketball team, right? I mean, don't you feel that way about the men at the very least?
You can, absolutely. I think that it's not as easy as sometimes we make it look. Mm-hmm. We being the Texas Tech basketball program, just because You're not guaranteed in any given year that guys are going to fit your system or guys are going to mesh together and the chemistry is going to be good and you're going to have the right leadership when you're bringing in a bunch of new guys. I mean, who's the leader? Who are the returners that are kind of bringing along the culture of the program, all that good stuff. So I don't think it's a guarantee every time, but when you're buying really talented players, I think that increases the odds of you being really a talented team. Mm-hmm. And so I think when you're bringing in those kind of guys, I think you give yourself a chance. I think Coach McCaslin's done a great job of getting them picking guys that fit his system, but it's not to say that everyone has been perfect, right? Yeah. I would guess that there'd be a lot of people that would say that Lawan Watts didn't show out like you expected him to do this year, or maybe even Luke Bamboy. I mean, maybe you cut him a little bit of slack just because he dealt with so many injuries, but other guys in the past have maybe fit better, okay? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he's also brought in guys like JT Toppin that have absolutely been terrific for you. So I think Coach McCaslin has made it look easy to a certain degree, but it's not as easy as it looks. Yeah. You got to pick the right people.
And as far as the women are concerned, I mean, if you can, figure out a way to replace a Snudda Collins, a Hema Nunez, all of whom were significant additions for you last year.
I thought the ladies did a great job in the portal last year. Yeah. They really got girls that fit their system.
Yeah, and complemented what you were doing. And you've got players coming in, but you're going to be young. I mean, you've got Jada Curry coming in. She's 6'5". You've got Gianna Jordan of the three Jordan sisters. She's the one that's the best, but she's dealing with apparently an injury that's not going to allow her to be right there. But then you've got Ambrosia Cole from Monterey High School coming in. So you've got players coming in, and Mariah Douglas, who's 6'4", she's coming in from St. Louis. But you need some vets to complement that roster to help you, to add to what you have with Stephanie Okachua at 7'1", and then also with Jalen Bristow. So it'll be interesting to see what they're able to add to their roster, and see if you can step and repeat what you did this past year. I'm not saying you're going to go 19-0 to start, but man, sure like what you did in the Big 12. I sure would have liked to have finished just a little bit stronger. I'm sure they would have too, and improve your lie going into the potentially an NCAA tournament. So. It is 6:55 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com. The mobile app is presented by Happy State Bank.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hotline 2 is open at 806-771-0973. My question, though, with regard to culture, at least for football, is do you think we as fans or the fans or people in general take that for granted, that we're going to have good culture? Do you think we've gotten to that point, and that maybe is something that we shouldn't take for granted because it is so hard to do?
I think you've just heard Coach McGuire talk about it so much that you believe that he puts a major emphasis on it, and so we do kind of take for granted knowing that that's the way he runs his program. So we always expect it's going to be that way.
Yeah. So I'm not saying it's bad that we take it for granted. We just kind of assume that, because, like you said, I think he does talk about it a lot. I mean, it is a clear point of emphasis, and let's face it too. When you're winning, it's easier for everybody to follow along. It's when you're not winning is when that's hard. And
sometimes it's hard even when you're winning if guys are upset that they're not playing.
Yeah, they're not getting enough time. They're not getting to kind of show out or things along those lines. But it feels like it's, and I'm going to knock on wood, feels like it's been a really quiet camp so far. Maybe this is hey, we're just trying to put our team together. We're just trying to kind of see who fits in what spot, and are they who we think they are? And you may not be able to answer all those questions in 15 or so spring practices, but you can probably get a pretty good feel for if this player is who you thought you were getting when you signed him or when you brought him in that semester. And I'm not talking about the high school kids that are here. I'm talking about the ones that you have signed that you expect to perform at a very high level for you immediately. So hopefully you can get a feel for that. But I don't know if you have any big questions that you can answer, or that they coming out of this camp. I mean, that you're like, well, I really need to see it in September. I really need to see that in October.
Yeah, and just I don't know. There's not even. I'm sure there will be, but right now I don't think. What position battle am I really watching? I guess there's some of that with the running back situation, but that they're all going to play and all give you something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the coaching staff's talking about offensive line battles and all those kind of things, and there are certain spots that there are battles, but yeah, I just think in the spring you let them do their thing, you let them learn the scheme, you let them build chemistry together, you hope to not hear anything about any kind of injuries, and you just don't worry about it. I think that sometimes we feel the need to, they give us media availability so you can talk to the coaches and talk to some of the players and all that, but we feel the need to be checking in on football because we're a football-loving fan base and all of the above, but you need to expect that the spring shouldn't be about news. It should be just about you guys getting it figured out, and
mm-hmm.
we'll check in every once in a while, but we'll all expect that you're taking care of business, and we'll see you in August.
Right. Yeah, right. No, I understand, but it's kind of there's part of that would be like, well, it feels like you need to hear something. You need to have something going on.
I don't feel that.
Well,
I don't feel that way at all.
Okay.
I can't tell you the number of times that you have said over the last 2 or 3 seasons, well, it seems like it's a really quiet spring. It's because it's spring football. There's no competition. There's nothing to talk about.
No.
I get it. We're really good. Okay? We're really good, and that's awesome, and that's fun, and we're all excited about the upcoming season.
Sure.
But, we're sitting here talking about the schedule, and we're like, it's hard to pick the toughest 3 games because I think you're going to win all of them.
Right.
That also makes for less to talk about, right? We're gonna pound a bunch of people. We're gonna be really good. Yeah. And me personally, I'm just like, I'll see you ready in August. Yeah, you got the pieces, coach. You have brought them in. You have made this the place to be. You have built this awesome culture. You have loaded this roster up with talent, with help from boosters and all the above. And your athletic department has supported you, and we are 100% behind you. So have at it. I'm not going to bother you. You do your thing. I trust you. Let's go. I can't wait for the end of August.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to make a pledge. I'm not going to ask you about that anymore.
No. I'm not saying that we can't have football conversations.
No.
I still want to.
I'm just talking about
the conversation about,
drama.
well, it's been quiet. There's nothing. It's spring football.
That's the one that I'm not going to. I'm just going to.
Do you? Why? Okay, so when will they start practicing basketball?
Oh gosh, it's funny. I was thinking about that the other day, going, I remember making a comment like 7 years ago. 2 weeks after the Final Four, they were already scrimmaging. So I'm sure they're already working out.
Okay, all right. I'm going to say the start of the school year. Okay, start of the school year.
Well, they'll have summer workouts,
but they don't play a game until November.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's like 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Right. At no point do we say it's a quiet fall for the basketball team. Right? We don't, because we know they're getting ready for the season.
Yeah.
That's what the football team's doing. We're not looking for drama for the basketball team. The only time, again, we hear anything is if somebody's hurt. Okay. I mean, as much as we love football, we don't need drama,
We don't
Chuck.
want any drama.
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't. We trust our coaches are taking care of business, and we're excited to, bring up conversations and all that kind of stuff. But it's okay if there's no drama. It's okay if there's no news.
And in fact, that would be preferred, actually, is no drama and no news.
You guys are right. It just seems quiet, but that's okay.
They don't have... Okay, I know what we need to do. This is... Chuck, this is what we need to do.
I'm just going to stop.
No, this is what we need to do. I know this is how we fix this problem. We need to find an organization that wants to sponsor and host an award ceremony about spring football. Who is the best player in spring football for respective teams? We go by conferences. There's weekly standings. There's rankings. There's voting. The whole thing.
Now you're
we get a big
mocking me.
sponsor on this, and then we'll have something to talk about in the spring.
When you consistently say that to yourself, man, it's quiet over there at football. Does it ever say to you, I guess that's the norm?
Yeah, it's the norm. Yeah.
That's the norm.
Yeah, that's become the norm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's become the norm. This no news from spring football is good news. Because when you hear news during spring football, it is usually major interest. Yeah.
And it's also that we trust that our coaches are doing the right thing.
Yeah,
right?
or some kind of off-field fracas, which we've been able to stay away from those for a while.
Back in the Kingsbury era, right? You'd have a struggling football season, and then next year you'd see a video with Coach dancing with the team, and you're like, well, maybe if we dance with the team a little less, we'd win more football games in the fall. We can't really say that about Coach McGuire, right? We got nothing.
We got nothing.
We can't complain on how he's running his practices because, it worked out pretty well last year. And guess what? We think it's really going to work out well this year, too.
Yeah, I think it's going to work out really well.
Yeah.
It's okay when he's turned on some dang music. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Jamie's question of the day is next, and we'll take yours as well off the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We've got just a little bit of an update. I really don't like it, but we'll get to it on Flory Badunga in his next stop. It's not permanent, but at least he's making a stop, and it's not in Lubbock yet. At least that we're aware of.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, guys, I've got a bit of an oddball dreamland question for you.
We're just the guys for that.
Okay. We're talking Red Raider men's basketball, and you're kind of in a situation now with the news of Christian Anderson that you have needs at every single position.
Okay, yeah,
really?
Right.
Okay, so
jobs are open.
I'm going to tell you, okay, you have the pick of the litter.
Oh, goodness.
Why is that, oh goodness?
Because I was just like, now I got to come up with some names.
No, you don't.
Okay.
No, you don't. You have the pick of the litter, all right? And you can get one of the top point guards in the market, one of the top scoring wings in the market, or one of the top shot blocking, defending, rebounding big men in the market. Okay?
Okay.
Which guy are you picking?
Man, I want the big fella. I want the big fella inside who can run the floor, has agility, can catch it on the fly, can slam it home so the ball just ricochets off the floor into the stands, and then can swat it away at the other end, defend the rim, defend without fouling, get rebounds, get putbacks, isn't all thumbs. You know, it's got some thickness to him so that you can wall up in there. Give me that fella.
Okay. I want to see this trajectory of a dunk that bounces into the stands.
He slams it home. That kid from Michigan,
and
he did
the
that
floor, and then ends up in the stands.
Yeah, that kid from Michigan did that the other night. I mean that thing went through the rim with authority, and then it just bounced off into the band. Some kid with an oboe got it, I think, but I don't know.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with the the point guard. The tournament, while the championship teams both had some dominant bigs, and they absolutely showed why they were there because of the bigs. The tournament is about guard play. And when you've had really good guards, your wings get better. Your blocks get better. Your defense doesn't necessarily get better with regards to the rim protection, but everything else about you offensively gets better. Your distributor, your guy that you need a floor general. That's where I would go.
All right. I'm not surprised with either one of your answers. I really loved the passion of Chuck's answer.
Okay, thank you.
I am 100% with Jeff. Okay.
I figured that.
And I have 2 words for you.
Okay.
2 words, Chuck.
Yeah.
Hema Nunez.
No, and
how much better was everybody on the Lady Raiders because of Hema Nunez?
Yes. And
she changed. She made everybody better. She was a great floor general, like Jeff said. Mm-hmm. She got everybody the ball on time, on target, and made them all much better players, even though you wouldn't look at her skill set and say she's a superstar or anything like that. She's a really, really good point guard, in my opinion, that was a game changer for the Lady Raiders. And I think Christian Anderson did those same kind of things with his passing ability. Obviously, he was a great scorer, too. It would have been harder for me to answer point guard if I said most dominant interior presence scorer. Okay? I didn't tell you he was a great scorer. I just said he was a big man that blocked shots and rebounded, played defense. Okay? It would be harder if Cam Boozer was available, it would be hard for me not to take him, right? Because he's a dominant inside scorer that can also step on the outside and score.
Yeah.
Score all 3 levels. But I didn't because I thought that would be too easy of a choice for all of us. But I just look at a point guard like Hema Nunez that not only is a good player in her own right and being able to score and do things, but she makes everybody else better. And I like players like that. And I think Christian Anderson, when he was right, was doing those kind of things. And so, Donovan Atwell wouldn't have been as great without Christian Anderson. JT Toppin, wouldn't have been as great without Christian Anderson. Mm-hmm. Yes, JT Toppin also helped, Christian Anderson get open shots. But again, I didn't say the big man was a great interior scorer who was demanding doubles and triples like JT was. I just said he was a great shot blocker, rim protector, rebounder. Okay, so I'm with Jeff. I would want the point guard. If Tech had the option of the best in any of those 3 areas right now, I'd pick the best point guard.
Yeah. And if you're asking me on the women's side, man, I want a 3-point shooter. I want somebody that can shoot 40% from beyond the arc. Because in the men's game, the big energy comes off of the dunks. In the women's game, man, the 3-point shot that just energizes teams and it just turns games around, just boom like that.
See, it's funny he says that. In the women's game, I'm completely the other way around. Give me that rim protector in the women's game.
Well, yeah, you'd love to have that, but I mean, you got to score.
Not with me. I'm with Chuck on that one. In the women's game, the 3-point shot is so incredibly important. Yeah.
I mean,
so incredibly important.
You just got to have that.
What was the highest percentage for our Lady Raider this year?
Oh boy, I don't. In a
Paging
specific
Dr.
game.
Fink. Dr. Fink, please pick up your phone.
Who shot the highest percentage from 3?
Oh, from 3, it was probably Bailey Maupin.
Okay, well, what was it?
I have my guess is but my guess would be 32-33%. And Bristow was up there. Danae Fritz was up there. Danae might have been, but she wasn't as much as the volume as Maupin. I'll get you that number. Yeah, Fink knows that off the top of his head. He'd be able to tell you.
Well, this is not Fink's show. It's your show.
Oh, no, it's our show.
It's your show. We're just all happy to be here. Bailey shot 33.5.
Okay, so I was pretty close.
Snudda was 39.
39. Okay, I forgot about Snudda. Yeah. Danae was at
Sydney
36.
was 32. Danae 36.
And Bristow was at 31.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey made the most threes. She shot 69 of 206. And Snutta was 50 of 128. So that's why her percentage was higher. It is 7:40. The team was 34%. They'd really like it to be higher than that.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Double T 97.3 presents The Morning Drive Power Hour. The Power Hour is presented by Service Compression. Committed to service, advanced technology, and field-proven compression expertise in the oil field. See them at servicecompression.com.
Hey, good morning. Hour 3 of 3 on the Morning Drive on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3. Jamie, Jeff, and I come to you from the First United Bank studio. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line, Double T 97.3.com for that, of the mobile app. Visual Edge IT hotline, it's open, 806-771-0973. Hour from now, it's the end of the bench. Then bottom line for about an hour and 40 minutes on 100.7 The Score as well. Before we get to the Astros and the Rockies from Denver, I'm going to make a point of that this year. Anytime that the Rangers or the Astros are playing the Rockies, I'm going to make a point to alert people to the fact that it is in Denver, because I think Denver is forgotten there.
Okay.
I think that Denver is a forgotten city when it comes to Major League Baseball. I think people just don't realize that Denver has a Major League Baseball franchise, like they do the NFL and the NBA and the NHL.
So you think the Rockies are like the Jamaican bobsled team?
I do, yeah. I think they're kind of lost in the woods, so to speak. We'll have the Rangers and the Mariners today on Double T 97.3 at 1.
Could you mention every time that the Rangers are playing at home that it's in Arlington also?
Yeah, well, I think people know that. Our audience knows that.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we were in Denver, okay, on, Buffalo 97.3, I think I would say, I don't really think Arlington gets enough love when we say the Texas Rangers. I don't think people in Denver know that Arlington is where the Rangers play. So I would be like pro Arlington there. Okay? I know some of the things that I worry about just amaze you sometimes, don't they?
This is not one that that you worry about that amazes me. I guess I just disagree with your point wholeheartedly.
Okay, that's okay.
I feel like anybody who thinks there's a professional baseball team in the state of Colorado, whether they're called the Denver Rockies or not,
I just wonder why
they're in Denver.
Yeah,
I don't think there are. I mean, maybe if you found some, I don't know, over some older ladies, picking up their groceries or
Mahjong group, maybe.
Yeah, you might ask them, hey, do you know where the Colorado Rockies are? And like, I don't know. Yeah. But you know what? I bet most of them would be educated enough to go, it's probably in Denver.
It's really going to be sad when we get to football season, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can't be the New York Football Giants anymore. Or the New York Jets. It's going to have to be New Jersey.
Yeah, they're playing New Jersey, right?
I think your point about the Golden State Warriors, because they've kind of bounced back and forth.
Yeah,
I think that's more fair. I don't think the Rockies thing. I would guess any sports fan with, 3/4 of a brain probably would guess that they're in Denver.
3/4.
Yeah.
The Warriors are just ashamed to be from either San Francisco or Oakland or the state of California. All right. Let's see here. If Chuck didn't hate the NBA and professional spring football, he'd have lots of ongoing sports to talk about. Yeah, well, we haven't even talked about the spring football stuff because it doesn't matter in terms of the professional spring football.
It matters to some people.
I've yet to meet anybody. It's not being paid to do it.
I was going to say, isn't Chris Snead like
I don't think he's doing it. I have no idea.
All right.
I have no.
All those players that are playing in it that are trying to get themselves to the
It'll
NFL.
never happen. It'll never happen. They're just dreaming. They're just dreaming.
Never. So no players ever in the history of that league are going to make it to the NFL.
Very few.
Very few, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll buy that.
Maybe
Low percentage, yes. Never? None?
you have a better chance of playing for the Midland Rockhounds and making it to the Texas Rangers than you do playing spring football. And
Well, that's completely different. Those are minor league affiliates. They're young players that are on their way. Of course you have a better chance.
yeah. 8:06 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Red Raiders had a successful day yesterday in New Mexico. Was it as successful? Was it more successful than you anticipated?
No. I thought you had a good chance to win it. I feel like the team can play like the team that we saw for the 3rd through the 8th. I think that we've seen that at times this year. I think, after the even after the Kansas series, when I felt like, Friday night you played really, really good baseball, and then Saturday it wasn't great, but you found a way to win. And that team has proven to be a really good team. They're 3rd in the Big 12 right now. I think they only have 3 Big 12 losses, and you gave them 2 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 series later, they've been rolling. So I think you have the potential. I think a lot of people think that I'm sometimes negative, and I'm not going to disagree that I'm negative, but it's because I've seen this team play better than they've played over this later stretch. And so I don't think this team is void of talent. I don't think this is a bad baseball team. I think it was a team that had lost some close games and kind of deserved to lose those games because they hadn't played well enough to win.
Didn't execute. And
found ways to beat themselves, and your opponents deserve some of the credit, but there was some bad luck involved too. So my being disappointed is because I have expectations for them, and I know that they can play better. So just hoping that they are able to kind of recapture that.
So yesterday, did anybody pitch that surprised you? I mean, or do you feel like that they didn't necessarily exhaust anybody from this coming weekend, or at least Friday night?
I think the only one that would be exhausted was Jason Ranieri, the starter. I think everybody else will pitch this weekend.
Yeah, but I mean, and you knew that going into the game that he was going to be a guy that if you used him and he had any level of success, he wouldn't be available for the weekend.
Right. I mean, I guess if he'd gotten shelled after an inning or something like that, he could have been used in a bullpen role. But if he'd gotten shelled after an inning, you probably felt like, do we really want to use him on the weekend?
Yeah. You go over there with Sidney Jagdish, Muhammad, and Clayton.
No, you got guys in there that you wanted to get in there and all that good stuff. But obviously they all pitched well except for Rusnick. So really, he's so important to this team because he's one of the few left-handed arms that you have. So really need to get him pitching better on the mound.
Get him right. Okay.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet973.com.